Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pick Up the Truth. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you guys been getting by the best you can. It's good to be with you again. I appreciate and respect all my brothers and sisters out there, no matter who you are, and no matter where you come from. Just know I love all you guys, and I want nothing but the best for you. Now today I want to talk about a real problem that we are going through on this earth. They program us to mutilate our baby boys every day. Every day we're programmed as mom and dads to mutilate our children, our baby boys, with this circumcision. I mean, it's nothing but mutilation against your child's will. I mean, how can we think of this any other way? Uh, they programmed us to think of this as something that's healthy for our child, something that's going to help our child in the long run. It doesn't. We're mutilating our children, our baby boys. We're mutilating the men in our lives with this disgusting practice that they program us to do to our children. It's not right. I'm a product of circumcision, and they did it against my will. I mean, they chop a part of my body off that was naturally created for me, and I'll never know that part of my body, at least in this lifetime. I'll never know what it's like to be a complete man on on the earth that was created for me. I'll never experience physically what it's like to have a body that was naturally created. It was stolen from me, just like it's stolen from over 50% of the men in this country we call United States. It's heartbreaking to think about all the boys that'll never experience how we're meant to be on this earth. I mean, we think of circumcision, we're programmed to think of circumcision as a healthier way of living to avoid infections and to not have to clean the area as much and not have to find ways to take care of that area. So we'd rather mutilate our baby boys than put in a little work and effort into raising them the way they were meant to be. And they also program us with their cultures and their religions to circumcise our children. They have so many ways to convince us to mutilate our children, our baby boys that grow up into men. And it's not right. We're doing it against their will. We're doing it without their knowledge. How do we think this is right? I mean, we have to ask ourselves a question. If our bodies were created this way by the one who created us, and I'm not talking about our parents or mom and dad. Of course, we know they came together to create the body that our soul inhabits. We know that. But we're all a product of creation. Our bodies were created ultimately by creation. That's how we exist. And if the Creator designed my body to work in such a way, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for the extra skin. An important reason that we're not allowed to understand, obviously, because they just do away with it. They do away with the skin, they do away with the subject, no one talks about it. We have to stop being programmed. Now, whether this creature that we see on screen is a man or a woman is not even the issue. And we're going to listen to its worldly excuses of why circumcision is accepted on this earth. But bottom line is, we have to remember, if we were created by an intelligence why are we going against the intelligent design of our bodies and thinking we know better than what created us? Why? Why do we think we know better than the force that created all? Why? We don't. But we keep living in such a way that we do. And this is an example. Now let's watch and see what this creature has to say.
I got a question. Can you do a full episode on circumcision, like explaining it and your opinions about it? So I have this memory from middle school. My younger brother was going to bed, and I tauntingly informed him, part of your penis is cut off. My brother disagreed, and I remember thinking, of course, how could he believe someone would cut off part of his penis? When would they have done it? To him, his penis looks like his penis. Look at your penis, if you have one, in private. Some of you have one of these. If you don't have one, then you most likely have a scar. It will look like a ring, but probably not a...
Of course, her brother's not going to remember when they cut off his penis because, like I said, they do it when you're not conscious of anything. They mutilate you. without your permission.
Symmetrical one. Your penis is a difficult thing to cut. It's all wibbly wobbly. Every scar has an explanation, how your body was banged up and did its best to heal. My second circumcision related memory was about a year later when my second brother was born, on Leap Day. I remember glancing at his tiny baby penis when they changed him. It was slightly darker than the rest of his skin, but very penis looking. The next day or so at the hospital, his penis was blood red and raw, as if my nail had been torn off. I don't think I questioned it. I just assumed everyone knew what they were doing, including my parents, and that maybe baby penises just got more red and shiny once all the baby goo was wiped off. Nope. Within a few days after he was born, someone at the hospital circumcised him. Circumcision, like circumference, around, cision, cut, Latin for to cut around. It refers to one or many cuts on the genitals. On the vulva, it could range from a cut to remove the foreskin and or the labia and or the clitoris, which is illegal worldwide. On a penis, it typically refers to a circular cut around the glands to remove the foreskin. Not illegal, but not very common outside of the US. I was in college when I learned all of this. I learned exactly what a circumcision is, how it's done, and why. We were shown a film, Whose Body, Whose Rights. Changed my life. Here's what happens. There's a tray with a tiny human being imprint. Legs here, arms here, head, and then slits for Velcro straps to hold the child in place. Either there's a needle that injects a numbing agent or there's a topical anesthetic. In 1888, when circumcision was performed as a remedy for masturbation, because foreskin, one of its strongest advocates recommended operating without anesthesia.
As the brief pain attending the operation will have a salutary effect.
So, as we're learning, the Masonic Ones decided to punish the people that were masturbating with circumcision. This is how they claim the mutilation started. Just like I said, any excuse they give to program us to mutilate our children, the ones we're supposed to care for, nurture, and keep safe. They brainwash us to mutilate them without their permission. How can we find this an acceptable practice as a people? How can we follow these Masonic ones, the bloodlines that control us, blindly the way we do? This Kellogg, it's the same Mason who made this cereal. Kellogg cereal, the same Kellogg cereal that's controlled by the Masonic ones, that's poisoning the people on the shelves to this day. The same ones. They get us to mutilate our children. This fucker right here we see on the screen, it's probably not even a man. It's probably a Masonic woman living as a man. They love to live against truth. They fool us with the duality. But all the duality really is they live opposite of truth. They love it. Everything they do is opposite of truth. The world they created for us to live in is opposite of truth. It's opposite of the unnatural creation we're meant to live in. We can't live by these sick people's values anymore. We can't be programmed by these sick people's ways and traditions any longer. We have to do better for our children and just say no more. I'm not going to mutilate my children for these sick bastards.
Effect upon the mind, especially if it is connected with the idea of punishment, as it may well be in some cases.
This was John Harvey Kellogg promoting that we make the cut really hurt so that the baby boy will associate touching the penis with pain. Yes, Kellogg, the same guy who invented cornflakes, which were also considered a remedy for masturbation. Okay, so at least it isn't 1888 and the penis is numb-ish. Then we use one of 3 devices to separate the foreskin from the glans penis, the head of the penis. It has to be separated because at birth the two are attached. Natural detachment doesn't happen until later. Toddlerhood later, 10 years old on average, puberty, if ever. To separate it before it's time is like pulling off a nail. Once they're separated, the glans is guarded from the knife or scissors used to cut the other tissue off. Even though this is my pinky in a balloon and this is an adult model, this is what is actually removed. About this much, which had it grown into an adult foreskin, looks more like this. 10 to 15 square inches of penile erogenous tissue. Discarded. So why do we do it? Here in the US, there's a bag full of reasons, but a main one is tradition. Circumcision has primarily been unquestioned surgery because that's just what you do. In Missoula, Montana, you're looking at a $244 pediatrician charge. That could be in addition to the $689 for use of the hospital facility. And then if you're asking for it 28 days after birth, it's $6,678. Susan Turkle and Lorna Greenberg were really curious about circumcision, so they investigated it and kept records along the way. You can read their book,
Now, the money, of course, we know what that is. It's just another way to cycle the money they created to make us worship and to enslave us with. They have to keep it cycling so we can continue being their slaves. You know, I don't tell you guys this truth to judge you. I don't tell you guys this truth to be negative. I tell you guys this truth so we can wake up to the atrocities that are happening to us. This subject is oh so serious, especially to the children it's happening to. They have no voice. They have no voice. They're unaware of the mutilation that is happening to them. They have no idea. And that's another excuse for them to do it. The children don't know. They don't feel it. Yeah, okay. Keep telling yourself that. We have to stop living by what these people push down our throats. We have to start being our own person. We have to stand up for what's right. We have to start believing in ourselves and believing in our families, believing in truth. I love you guys. And I know this is a tough subject to talk about. It's a tough one for me because I'm a victim of it. But I may be a victim of it physically. But my soul is free from this world that has mutilated my body. And I can thank truth for that. And I just want you guys to have the same peace that I have. Even though we discover terrible truth like this, we can always find peace we can always find peace in real creation. we can always find peace in what is true. Every day I give thanks to be able to wake up, give thanks to creation to be able to wake up and look at the beautiful sky, look at the beautiful trees, look at the beautiful animals, and look at the beautiful people, because they're all creation. And every day I listen to the natural sounds in nature, the birds singing, the animals making their noises. I take in those natural sound vibrations and I feed off of it. It gives me the peace. It gives me the natural energy. Try to find peace in creation, my friends, because this world we're waking up to is horrible. But we have to make the decision to do the right things. I love you guys. You take care of yourself out there.